Welcome back from that short break. You're still watching New Vision TV News with me, Ruth Inasejo. We continue looking at news around the world. We start from the continent in South Africa. They have been hit by a rolling blackout in a blow for the continent's most developed economy as it shows signs of rebounding. Embattled Power Company, Eskom, which generates around 95% of the country's electricity, announced power rationing, infamously known as load shedding, would be implemented from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. The stage 2 load shedding was in order to protect the power system from a total collapse, the state utility said in a statement. We move on to Ethiopia, where rescue workers on Tuesday used evacuators to dig out bodies after a landslide in southern Ethiopia washed away homes and killed more than 20 people, a local official said. Now, the landslide in the remote district of Konta occurred Sunday following 10 hours of heavy rains, say the official Tekele Tesefo. He said the victims included 9 women and 6 children. In Zimbabwe, hundreds of thousands of Zimbabwe government workers can no longer afford to report for duty, their union said Tuesday, as the country's grinding economy crisis sends inflation soaring and renders their wages almost worthless. The country is in the grip of a major downturn that has provoked biting shortages of fuel, medicine, and currency, as well as hyperinflation, which has seen many families living on the single meal a day. Zimbabwe's main public service union say the crisis was now preventing 300,000 government employees, a broad spectrum of workers from cleaners to office staff and teachers from traveling to their jobs. We close off news around the world in France, where French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian has said it was possible that Britain and the European Union could thrash out a deal on Brexit, but the outcome remains uncertain. He said the current intense discussions between the two sides ahead of the EU summit Thursday appear to be lasting as if it gone on. I beg your pardon. He said the current intense discussions between the two sides ahead of the EU summit Thursday appear to be lasting, and if this goes on, this is positive. That is it for the news around the world. We now move on to news in business.
In business tonight, during Independence Day celebrations, the president said that when the ongoing infrastructure developments are complete, there will be improved movement of goods and services, leading to double-digit economic growth. The president, Uganda National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Olive Chigongo, says that there's still a lot of work to be done, infrastructure development to ease the movement of people, goods and services, much more, adding that railway transport is not developing as fast as the road transport. Paul Busharizi, our business analyst, weighs in.
Well, I think the president, whether it will get to double digit is debatable. But I think he's correct that once the roads or whatever infrastructure projects, power and stuff come online, you should expect an improvement in the growth figures of this country. Because if you think about it, when you talk about economic growth, it's the production, distribution, and consumption. And the quicker, the more efficient you can do these three, it just means the economic growth will go. So if you just think just directly distribution, things will be able to move much faster around the country. Goods, even services will be able to move much faster around the country. And yeah, I think it's not, He was stating the obvious.
Well, yeah, true. He was stating the obvious, but do you think railway is supposed to play a big role?
Yeah, I think we have dilly-dallied on rail transport,
yes, that's true.
and water transport. When you're talking about industrialization, you know, huge bulk movement of goods, especially like raw materials, you have to talk about rail. It's cheaper by a factor of, you know, several multiples than doing it on road. There's just a time difference, but that can be planned for. It's much slower on rail, but that can be planned for. But if you're going to talk about serious industrialization of a country, you cannot do it without rail and water transport if you have access. But rail has to be there because huge volumes of materials move on rail for much cheaper than on road.
But I think we're going, you know, one step at a time.
Well, I think unfortunately for us in Uganda is that, as they say, we're landlocked. So whatever we think of has to be in collaboration with either Kenya or Tanzania or our neighbors. However, I think we're trying to get some port built in Busika, is it Busika or something, which will allow us to send cargo across to Kisumu, which then maybe can get onto rail, and hopefully that reduces the cost of transport for our goods. Yeah. But I think the will is there, and if we just keep on pushing and pushing, who knows, in 20 years we'll be where we want to be.
Well, we look forward, really look forward, 20 years from now.
You'll be
I'm
around.
Sure you'll be.
You'll be around.
Yeah, hopefully. And you too.
Absolutely, I intend to be around.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Interesting discussion there with Paul and Lynn Komjisha. Thank you for the news and business. We now move on to our Daily Pile of Africa series. Today, it is sailing on a traditional canoe. Now, traditional canoes are commonly used for fishing in most fishing villages surrounding Uganda's major water bodies. They are also used as means of transport to nearby islands. Now, many people dread them because safety is not a guarantee, but it is high time we all tried out new experiences on these canoes, like this group of people. Take a look.
Residents of Boma in Mpigi district find using a traditional canoe the cheapest and fastest option to reach the several islands connected to River Katonga. Several groups use the canoe that is supported by a captain with a pole to maneuver through these papyrus to get to Buyinga, a nearby village. The science is that the captain sticks this relatively strong pole in the water and uses his energy to force the canoe to sail on the water. He keeps doing this until they reach their destination. These canoes can carry an average weight, so for your own safety, inquire from the captain how much weight a canoe you intend to use should carry. Clearly, these passengers are enjoying their time traveling using the traditional canoe. In case you're wondering how they'll get off the boat, check this out. Quite risky for a first-time user, but seeking help from the captain is always advisable. You can now start arranging when to sail on water using these traditional canoes. Expect to go fishing, sightseeing, or even swimming when you reach a certain point in the lake or river next to you. Now, from a pile of Africa stories, visit our website, which is newvision.co.ug/Pile of Africa. A newspaper, the Sunday Vision, is also another home of adventures. Grab your copy every Sunday for Pile of Africa stories.
I will definitely try and use a traditional canoe the next time I try to visit my father on the island. Definitely, it will be an experience I will share when I return. We now move on to our special report today. We continue to show you profiles of extraordinary teachers who have made a difference in Uganda this year. Today, we look at the profiles of Sam Logira, the head teacher of Lomukura Primary School in Kutido District, and Stefan Mukwena, the headmaster of Bujiri Primary School from Bujiri District. Take a look.
Some parents in Karamoja region prioritize bride price over their daughters' education. So with this attitude, parents marry off their daughters and deny them the chance of getting formal education. And now Sam Logida, the headmaster of Lomukura Primary School in Kotido District, is working tirelessly to get girls in school.
I found that most of the girls drop out of school basically because of forceful marriage.
I was forced to get married. I managed to run from home. I told a teacher my problems. Went with our teacher up to our home. They warned my parents. They told them that if you want this girl to continue with her studies.
I reported the case to police. Then from police, I reported to one of the NGOs called the C&D.
Logira started a number of projects such as goat keeping and farming that have helped him raise money to maintain the girls that were excommunicated from their families as a result of showing interest in going to school.
Some 7 girls approached and told me that we are being forced to get married. But the parents now says if the school is ready, because the school has denied them the opportunity of getting those dowries, the cows. So dwell with the school, those are your children now. So I had to solve the responsibilities of making sure these children stays in school. I had to put these girls in boarding section. And as I talk, I'm happy. 6 of them graduated from P7. They're already in secondary school. Currently, I still have 1.
At school, the girls are able to make their own sanitary pads, and this has been extended to communities where they come from.
We had to slot in some skills. Our girls can at least make some reusable sanitary pads so that it doesn't make them drop out of school when they are in for their menstruation period.
Logida has also managed to mobilize resources and build a changing room for the girls. Bugiri Primary School in Bugiri District was once a great school in the region. But because of administrative issues, parents withdrew their children from the school. In 2010, Stephen Mukwena was posted to the school as the head teacher. He started by mobilizing the teachers and parents to bring back their children and restore sanity to the school.
The enrollment had dwindled. It was almost between 250 and 300 pupils. The key issues that I gave attention to, one was to mobilize the parents. The community has got very many children. There is no reason why these children should go to other schools instead of coming here. So that was one of the immediate strategies.
Mukwena realized that the school structures would soon collapse on pupils, and he lobbied for a new office and classroom block, installed piped water and electricity to the school.
This oldest building was in a very, very, very poor state. It had no shutters, no windows. The iron sheets were almost running off, so I struggled and got connected some friends of mine, and I was able to carry out lobbying, and we got money and started on that program. I contacted my colleagues, they gave me a donation, and we connected water, piped water. It is here, it is flowing. Even the teachers who are not sleeping here started residing here because of the availability of water.
Stephen also started a demonstration farm where both the pupils and the community are equipped with practical and modern farming practices. He is confident that his school can survive with or without UPE grants, which many schools depend on.
If government comes to a time and halts or stops the flow of UPE capitation grants, I'm sure this school can survive under my leadership. In as far as getting instructional materials, we can get them, like a chalk, rep books, pens, and so on. We already have an ongoing project here, coffee. We get the seedlings from welfare creation. When time comes, we contact those very people. They come and buy them. So that project can help us to sustain the school. I have started on the project of tree planting. So we can sell timber and we get money to support the school. We can grow cabbages in acreage. We can grow tomatoes in acreage. We can grow bitter tomatoes in acreage. We can grow dodo in acreage. So all these ones can come up and we can sell them and we can get money.
That is all we had for you today. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch more news updates and other programs here on New Vision TV by visiting our website, which is newvision.co.ug/video. You can also follow us on social media. Facebook is The New Vision. Twitter is @NewVisionWire. Instagram is @NewVisionWire. And our YouTube channel is New Vision TV. Catch up with me on my Twitter handle. I am Ruth the Voice. I have to say good night, but I end with a fact file.
Yes, Mommy, hi, did I wake you? Is Daddy there? Did I wake you guys up? Yeah, I'm so sorry. Could you please put Daddy on loudspeaker? Could you both be on loudspeaker? I have something I need to talk to the both of you about.
Sorry for not being there for Tao. I'm sorry for not being a perfect mom wife. I'm sorry. I'm not Mela. I'm sorry, but
to step into the ring, it takes power, focus,